What's going on, all my beautiful crypto people? Mark Fleetwood here. Welcome back to the Daily Grind Trader. Today's video is for my Bitcoiners and my Ravenites because I'm going to be doing a market analysis for Bitcoin and a deep dive analysis into Ravencoin. With that being said, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Alright everybody, we know the drill. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I simply share my technical analysis with you, but remember, you manage your own money and you manage your own risk. With that being said, if you do like these videos, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and all that good stuff, and let your friends know about it. It is all very helpful in growing the channel. We are very close to getting to the point of monetization. Then I can start doing more and more and put more better equipment and actually start making a little bit of money to help support and grow this. So with all that being said, we're going to hop into the charts, and we're going to start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin here, I had to adjust slightly. So if you watched the last video, my accumulation range, while the range has stayed the same, the phase that we are in has changed slightly. I believe that this bottom touch that we had here on February 23rd, I believe that was the phase B lowest support touch. And we're just going to pull the Wyckoff schematic up again, and then there's this lowest touch here. I believe that was this. And what we're having is we had the run up, down, and then the big run up here, which would be this up, down, up here. Now I think this down move here, where I thought we were going to get to the spring, is not there yet. I think we run up to this level again one more time. I think we hit this for the third time before we come down and we test the spring area. We're going to test this lowest support again before potentially blasting off. Now it is critical to watch this and not just try to follow the schematic, because the schematic is just a general idea. Each coin is not going to run the same way. It's not going to make the same moves. It's not going to follow the pattern exactly. You're going to be close. There's going to be things that you have to see and you have to identify yourself, and you have to kind of just go with the flow, so to speak. So right now what I'm looking at, and I'm not too thrilled with it, is we're looking at this 4-hour candle. We got about an hour left to see if this can hold itself above the 200 period moving average on the 4-hour chart. If it fails to do so and it falls back below the 200 and the 200 becomes a resistance again, that could be the next leg down to come down into this phase C area, where we might not get a retest all the way up to 45.5. This might be it, and we start to come down, and then we'll have our spring level here around 33 or 34K, maybe even all the way down to a wick low of like 32. And then that would cause a lot of buying pressure. There would be a lot of liquidity to pick up in that range that could very quickly blow the price back up. And you could have a wick down to 31, 32K, and the candle closed at like 36. It could be that big of a jump. So if you're looking to kind of have a one of those long shot home run hitters, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have a buy order set at like 31.5, 32K, and just see if you can scoop up that liquidity grab there, and then you can easily get out of it within an hour or two and be at like 36K and have a nice large chunk of change there. With these schematics and with these patterns, you have to do a little bit of fine tuning on your own. But I do think that we do know that we're in this range. We do know that we have a top of 45.6 and a low so far of around 34. And we had a wick down. Our lowest wick was 32.9. But generally this range is held at 34K. Now, if nothing else, if you're not trying to go step by step, you can just wait for a break below or a break above, get a retest, and see if you can get the breakout. But we are definitely right now in an accumulation range. We're definitely in an accumulation pattern. I'm just trying to see if I can go step by step to see exactly where we're at in the phase, to see if I can trade within those phases, because I did have a successful trade coming down where I entered a trade at 43,825 at 39.3. So it was a 103% gain. I wanted to get more. I wanted to get it down to 35K. But what I saw on this bottom was that I drew this orange line because we kept having the same resistance that we had over here, and we kept hitting the same resistance, but it wouldn't really fall off hard. It wasn't really hitting it and rejecting hard. It kept coming back up and battering this resistance. And when that happens, they tend to break. And I also noticed that we had this kind of ascending wedge, or a descending, broadening wedge. And I got out, I went out. And on my Twitter profile, you can see I posted this before this broke out and said, hey, watch this range, watch this pattern. It's a bullish reversal pattern. We could get some really strong price action on Bitcoin. And it was like 4 hours later, we had this massive breakout. So keep that in mind. Right now, the biggest thing to watch right now is Bitcoin on this 200. And it kind of lines up on the daily chart too, where the 200 has been a rejection so far from the peak of the day. Has rejected off the 200, so we're going to want to keep an eye on that. Getting into Ravencoin, it's been an extremely textbook white coffee accumulation pattern, minus the support touch coming before the AR, before the automatic rally. So we had a selling climax here, then we found our level of support that was actually here, automatic rally back up, then we had our peak, our top resistance area. And that's kind of this little peak here, and you can see how it drew up, came back down, and then we came all the way down to the support touch in phase B. It came back up a little bit, and the phase C ended up being closer to a spring, because it did get back down near that support touch, but it didn't dip through it, so it still made it into the spring area. And now we're getting into the test of testing between these kind of support resistance ranges. And right now, the big range, not the big range, is a rather small range, but the big test will be if it breaks above the 50 or below the 21, because it's currently trading in between these two moving averages, and sometimes being between moving averages can make you range bound in a very tight range until the moving averages compress on each other, kind of like Bollinger Bands, and then you'll get a big breakout one way or the other. So I'm expecting a big break to the upside for Ravencoin, and then to start getting into phase D and testing the upper limits. My last Ravencoin video, I did say that there was a potential to get a 5-cent Ravencoin again, and we got down to 4.9, low of 4.93, 4.97. So there was that sub 5 Ravencoin. If you got in around that 4.9, you're already up almost 10%. And just getting back to the top of this range would be 62%. And then breaking out, obviously you know the drill here. If you got in here at 5 cents and you run the breakout and you get the whole move, your 200-300% gain is going to run at least up to 12 to 15 cents. So you're looking at 300 to 400% gains if you did get on that 5 cents. If you got that, awesome job, way to go. Sub 5 cent Ravencoin. It's not going to stay in that range for long. So guys, with that being said, that's the video. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Ravencoin to break these two moving averages and then get up and start testing the top of this trading range. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, until next time, peace.